Good morning, and welcome.
Good
Oh,
morning.
me. Good morning.
Hi.
Welcome to the Daddykirbs Farm live show for Saturday morning. This is a beautiful time every Saturday where we get to gather as a community and just share life with each other. So, if you've been here much, you know that one of the first things we do, unless I forget, which sometimes happens, one of the first things we do is to say our pledge. And our pledge stems from a phrase that I feel like God gave to me a few years ago, probably by now, which is that everyone has a story and every story counts. That was originally something that came into my mind. I feel like it was put on my heart. Really, it was for me at the time. It was for me to understand that my story is important. So, our pledge is that we sit up and we put our hand on our chest and we say, "My story counts because I count."
My story counts because I count.
You do count, Kate.
Thanks, Kate. So do you.
You called me
Blake.
Kate.
No, Blake.
Well, the you do count. You count. You matter. It's important. Um, your past, no matter how good or troubled, created who you are. Helped create who you are, and so you can use that for good to help other people by sharing your story. So thank you very much for being here this morning as we share our story here on the Daddykirbs Farm, and I look forward to learning a little more about you as you share in the comments a little bit about your story. You can drop tidbits here and there, or as I ask questions, you can respond to them, or however it is for you. However you want to interact, I'm here for you this morning. So another thing that I like to do is to say thank you to my moderators. Kate is here on site. I also have several moderators that are here with their wrench. If you notice in the chat, there are several people. Other people do see those wrenches, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So
Witry and Dolly are here, and Robert left.
Robert left?
Yes.
He left me?
Well, he had something going with family. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So we got Wheat Tree Bonsai and Dolly and Kate here to help keep this show family friendly and just going smoothly. Thank you very much for the work that you do. So everybody give a big hand to my moderators.
There's a big hand. Biggest one I got.
And also a big thank you to my patrons. I have patrons. Those are people who support me financially on Patreon and also through PayPal. Occasionally, somebody sends me something in the mail too, but the two most normal methods that people support me financially is through Patreon and PayPal. So thank you very much because you guys help keep this show going. There are times when the cost of the show, whether it be recording equipment or sometimes tools for the farm, they are a little more than what my normal budget would allow. So you guys help keep that going, and I appreciate that very much. All right, so that is a good start to the morning. Thank you. I don't even know why I just said thank you, but I feel grateful, thankful that you guys are here and that we can do this show. I look forward to this every Saturday. I really do. And I tend to reach in and touch the screen every once in a while because my chat goes away and I want to see what you guys are saying. I don't always see and I can't always respond, but occasionally I do like to get in there and see. So let me see who's here already this morning. I probably won't get everybody. There's 24 people according to my number here. And so we do have our moderators, Wheat Tree, Dolly, and Kate. I'll go backwards here. Oh, and John's already starting. Hey, John, thank you, Mr. Haffy. You're reminding me. I meant to start the morning with two squirrels because yesterday, I didn't expect this. I impromptu, in the spur of a moment, did a premiere, and I didn't even realize you could do squirrels in a premiere, and I got two of them. So I'm going to give you guys a head start, and I'm going to go with 3 squirrels, yours and 2 more, because I think I only had 2 yesterday, and I might have had more, but I think it was only 2. So I'm giving you guys a head start with the squirrels. 3 on the hat. 3 on the hat. So thank you very much, John, for starting the morning like that. And the super chats. Yeah, so you're reminding people that the super chats is another way for people to financially support the channel. It is helpful. So thank you for doing that. Hey, and Lynx is reminding me, don't forget the squirrels from yesterday. Yep.
Elisa said she saw the video from yesterday and liked it.
Elisa Kerwood, aka Rainbow Angel, saw the bee video. That was a long video, but you know, I was telling Kate before the show, that was 2 hours of beekeeping, pretty near 2 hours. And I trimmed and trimmed and trimmed, and I got it down to 45 minutes, and I just couldn't, I didn't feel right making it any shorter. So you got a long one, and surprisingly to me, that video has done better in the first 24 hours than most of my recent videos. And
because it's beekeeping, and your family really wants to see your bees.
I guess so. So Charles, my buddy that helped me with that video, I told him if if his video gets to 1 million views, he gets $10. And somebody in the, I think it was one of our Florida friends. I can't remember the screen name. Sorry. Mentioned that, hey, that's hard work. Just give the kid $10. So Charles visits over here pretty often, and he gets his $10 worth just hanging out and being a part of our family from time to time.
He's a kitty. He's got a great sense of humor.
He is a fun kid. It's okay if I call him kid, right?
Well, I don't know why not. He's a lot younger. I call you kid.
That's right. Charles was great. Made me laugh with his hat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. I think he was a little bit nervous to move things around because of the bees. So the hat that I gave him, which was my first generation Daddykirbs hat, as he was doing the video, it just kept sliding down. And yeah. Kind of funny. All right, I'm going to scroll backwards and just say howdy to some names here on the screen. I'm going to say howdy to you, but I'm going to read your names on the screen. Cindy Smith, tomato worm in garden, not good. Yeah, I had my first hornworm this week. I saw the first one. And a lot of times I leave them because I just let them become the sphinx moth that is so beautiful, and they're pollinators. However, this little guy, I said, not yet. I'm sorry. I can't sacrifice the plants yet. Soon. There will be a time real soon when I just let the tomato plants go and they can have them all. But right now, not yet. So I didn't throw it to the chicken or the ducks. I threw it into the mulberry tree, hoping that it liked mulberry leaves. Probably not. Okay.
I have 2 mulberry trees, by the way.
Yeah?
They're both the ones that you gave me.
And they're growing.
They're both in the ground, and neither one's 6 foot yet, but they're both growing.
Nice, good. I'm glad they're doing well.
And I'm trying an experiment at home with them.
Yeah?
One of the branches, when I was planting them, a little tiny leaf node with 3 leaves and a little node fell off the branch.
Right.
I picked it up and stuck it in water, leaning against an avocado seed I was trying to root. The branch has rooted, and I'm going to put it in soil and see if it'll turn into a tree.
Good.
The avocado didn't do anything, but
No, avocados are tough. They're not so hard necessarily to get roots, but here in Texas, it's not necessarily the best place to actually grow an avocado.
That's because they don't do so well in direct sun.
Right.
They need dappled light.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but
I found that out the hard way.
I know a lot of people have some success growing their avocados up to a small plant, but just not. They don't get much out of the trees.
The first one I ever started, my mother has, and it's almost 9 feet tall.
Wow.
But it never has an avocado on it.
Never has produced fruit.
No.
Yeah. Well, it'd be pretty fun to have an avocado tree. We support Costco with buying avocados all the time.
Right.
All right, I said I was going to go through these names. Let's see. Cindy Smith, Julie Ankeny. I think I'm saying that. I've said that several times, Julie. Everyone will just have to forgive me if your name comes out a little bit wrong. The Wyatt Life. And let's see. Deborah Westfall. RQ Crafts. Susie Bosch. Alyssa Kerwood, Lynx Acres. Some of you guys made it to the...
Bandana Grandma's here.
Oh, Bandana Grandma. Yeah, I see that. Good morning, Bandana Grandma. Just popped in my head here. Who's going to the Doug and Stacy Homesteading Life Conference? I would love to see you answer that in the chat, and then I would love to see you at the conference because I have every intention on going. Providing nothing, no major events happen in my family, I'm going. I'm going to drive my little truck, my big truck. I'm going to drive my truck up there and be a part of that. Mary Stone is in the house. The Music Well. Scrolling through. Mr. Haffey. Sasha Fernandez. Salubrious Farm Homestead. Awkward silence. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a t-shirt of me going. That's going to be my awkward silence look. Susie Bosch, Corey Wassel. All right. Lisa Johnson, I don't know who I've already said.
Renato Luna just got here.
Renato. All right. Back at the end of the chat. I do have a few things that I want to talk about. Hey, Tim. Just Rosa Miller and Tim just joined. So, as I was preparing for the show, usually what I do on Saturday mornings, I think about the show throughout the week, but then on Saturday mornings, I get my notepad and I sit down and I start just thinking through things to help guide me through these shows. And one of the things that just kept going on in my head is that are homesteaders happier than non-homesteaders? Is homesteading a happy activity? Is homesteading a worthwhile activity? So all those types of questions, and so I'm going to touch on that. I would love for you guys to, encourage each other and encourage me, and just share stories about those things as we talk about it. And before I get into that subject, so that's leading into a subject, I wanted to just say that why do we meet here on Saturday mornings? What is the purpose of sitting here on Saturdays out on the Daddykirbs Farm and sharing here with the live show? I'm saying this because I need to remind myself, and I want to remind the community that this time in community, and I did write some stuff down because I wanted to be somewhat coherent. It helps me understand. This time helps me understand who the community is and help bond with the community. It helps me to feel like that everyone does have a story and every story counts, because you guys respond to that really well. And I personally have to remind myself of that all the time. And I want to spend time with you as a community, just remembering that our stories do count, and we can share those stories with each other, encourage each other to tell our stories beyond the live show, whether that be in videos like Inside Kate's Kitchen, or some of the channels that you guys have, or just with your friends and family. So we are here to educate, entertain, and encourage each other. And so that's why we meet every Saturday morning, and I look forward to it.
Viewers have a different answer.
They do?
Yes. You have one that said they come for the interaction.
Okay.
You have one that said they come to combat isolation.
Mm.
And you have a couple that said they come because they enjoy it, or they love us.
Nice. Well, I love you guys too. Richard. Well, that one came out wrong. Richard Marshall. I was reading Richard. I said it again. Richard and Marshall all at the same time, and it came out Richard. Oh,
Richard?
man. Richard.
Marchard?
Marchard. Sorry, Richard. Let's see here.
Oh.
Neil
Wink. Mama Diana says she thinks people like her who are stuck in a single, no land apartment can connect.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me read a couple of these. It says, Neil Wingfield, just put my first batch of sauerkraut to ferment. I'm extremely excited. Thank you for the tips. Well, you're welcome, and I'm glad that's working for you. I realized the math in that video was a little wonky. It wasn't wonky in that it was wrong. It was just maybe a little weirdly explained. So I'm glad you got something out of that. Let's see here. Dolly says, has anyone made crock pickles? I have not. I've never done pickles.
I've done lots of pickles, but never in a crock.
Kate's done pickles. I have eaten some of those pickles.
I've done all kinds of pickles. I've done bread and butter. I've done dill. I've done lacto-fermented pickles. I've done sweet pickles. I've done pickle relish.
And it's very tasty. You do good pickles, Kate.
Thank you. I like pickles.
Let's see. Mama Diana 1 says, I think people like me who are stuck in a single in and no land apartment, right? That way you can connect. Now I have house plants, but got 3 Roma tomatoes, which came with babies, and a lemon and a lime, time growing. You know, the garden is, even if it's a one container in a windowsill, is something that helps connect you to nature. And I think that's always valuable. For me, my perspective is that nature is a reflection of God's love for us, and connecting with nature helps me connect with God. So that is, I think that's important. I'm thinking of getting one of those tower garden thingies. You must be talking about the green stalk garden. They really are a valuable addition, or not, maybe not addition, but in some cases, a person's only garden. You can grow a lot of food in a very small space and stack them up 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. Each tier has 6 pockets, and if you get them on the base with wheels, you can turn them around so you can access each side nicely. I really believe that people with limited mobility and limited space should consider something like the green stalk. And the green stalk company, the product, wonderful. The company is wonderful, and you can get a little discount by going through my link and using the code Daddykirbs, so that can help you get started. And I think that, yes, the green stalk garden is a good thing to consider. Let's see here.
Dolly says she's like me. She'd made lots and lots of different kinds of pickles, but she's never made crock pickles.
Never crock pickles. I'm not even sure what a crock pickle is.
I think those are lacto-fermented pickles that you actually allow to ferment in one of those big clay pots.
Okay.
Big crocks, you know, the ones that are white with the blue stripe.
Right.
I think that's what they are.
Interesting.
And you know me, my house does not do lacto-fermented very well at all.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that in some cases the environment prevents you from having a good ferment. And it's frustrating.
Yes, it is.
Broussard Homestead, hey friends. And Haffy says, yes, that's correct, Kate.
Says what's correct?
That your assessment on what a crock pickle is, I believe.
Okay.
I'm interpreting that.
Thank you.
So where was I? Okay, so the question is, the questions in general, just the general thought of, is homesteading a happy activity? Are homesteaders happier than others? Is it worth it? Just those things. That was the thought of the morning. That's kind of why the title was Happy Homesteading. And I have some thoughts, and I'm just going to throw them out.
Before you do, I have a question.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
How do you define a homesteader?
Well, that's a good question. Homesteading, I'm sure there's many definitions. It's broad. And I probably won't nail the definition since I didn't prepare for that question. Thanks, Kate.
Sorry. But it's hard to decide who's happier if you don't know who they are.
Right. Well, I guess really in my mind, I am comparing the normal suburban, urban lifestyle, rat race, compared to people who want to separate a little bit from that environment and do things that, you know, grow some of their own food. Like I said,
rural.
a little, you know, it could be, I'm not even going to say that word. I can't say that word. Country. I'll say country.
Country. There you
the
go.
The RURAL word, I'm not going to say it out loud. So you don't necessarily have to live out in the country, but maybe you have a desire to grow your own food, preserve your own food, um, do some things that are a little more crafty, that's more old, traditional type craftsmanship compared to just buying new things from Amazon or whatever.
Broussard has a good definition of a homesteader.
Give us a definition, Broussard.
Yes, he says, a homesteader is a person with a self-sufficient mindset.
There you go.
Regardless of where you are, you can have that mindset.
You can have that mindset. And I'm sure it's just really broad, but I think that homesteading, or the act of homesteading, most people I think assume it's on a farm and you're going out and chopping firewood and feeding the chickens and all those things, which I don't chop firewood. That's why I live in Texas. I don't need firewood unless I'm barbecuing, but I don't eat meat, so I just don't eat firewood.
You can grill vegetables.
You can grill vegetables.
And they're good.
They are very good. Seems like a lot of work though for veggies, but
depends on how much you like grilled veggies.
The grilled veggies that I've had in my life have been since the grill is on, let's go ahead and grill veggies, but I don't know that I would ever, I don't know, maybe someday I'll fire up a grill.
I love grilled corn. I don't care whether you're grilling anything else.
Yeah, corn's one of those things.
Wrapped in a husk on those coals.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Let's see here. Mama Diana says, I love watching you and a couple other vlogs. I feel very connected to growing food. Good. So homesteading, yeah, simplistic. Happy says it's simplistic. And let's see. Also, a homesteader may or may not make money or a profit at homesteading. Links acres. Yes. So homesteaders, of course, there's no way to answer the question, is one group of people happier than another? And that wasn't really the intention. It was just the thought of, let me tell you what made me think of this. When I walked out this morning, I saw a lot of things that need done. We have storm damage that needs cleaned up. We have tools and projects that are in different stages that need done and cleaned up. We have animals that need taken care of. It's just, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of things. Let me get focused in here. There's a lot of energy that goes into taking care of a homestead, because if you're considering growing your own food, that's labor, energy. You're putting yourself into that. When you go to the grocery store, and it's okay to go to the grocery store. I'm not saying don't feel bad for that, but you're going in, you're picking it off the shelf, you're going home, and the energy involved is, especially now, you can just call and order it and pick it up at the curb at a lot of places.
Right.
You see the hummingbird you see the hummingbird right there on the front of the Texas sage?
On the whatever that tree is. There it goes.
Yep, the Texas sage. Now it's on the flower. Sorry guys, having a hummingbird moment. I love hummingbirds, and I love it when they come around. The Texas sage and whatever that vine on the
yeah, I don't know what that is either. Beauty, it's not, is it a beauty berry?
It's not beauty berry. I don't know, some random vine.
Pretty pink flowers.
Pretty pink flowers. The pretty pink flower, that's the PPF vine over there. And then also the red yucca growing out by the pool deck. Beautiful, I love it. Okay, sorry. What? I haven't seen Brownie.
He was out here a few minutes ago.
The little dog?
Yeah, the little bitty little one.
Kate said she saw him.
Right before we started, he was out here.
Sorry, lost dog moment now.
There he is over in the corner. Isn't
oh,
that
okay,
him?
yeah, that's him. Good eyes, Kate.
Thank you.
Wow.
I love those little dogs.
Yeah.
Your little dogs are adorable.
All right. See what happens when we have hummingbird moments, lost dog moments. Then I have no idea what we were talking about.
We're still...
Oh, let's talk about homesteading, right.
Yeah, who's happiest?
So I know that you can't just say this group is happier than this group. But for me, when I look out here and I see all the hard work, I know that there's a lot of people who do farms and homesteads that just pour their life, their energy into sustaining that activity. And then there's people, when we lived in a suburban neighborhood, pretty much you go to work, you come home, you mow the yard, you
Trim the trees if they need it.
maybe trim the trees, but your outside activities are fairly limited. And so you might have more time to go camping. Like we would go camping and kayaking and whatever we could to get away from that, to get into nature. But a lot of people just don't do those activities, and they end up spending a lot of time just in their house. Maybe they play games. I don't know what people do. But anyway, the point is for me that I feel like that people who choose, this is generalization, I know, but people who choose to connect with nature in a homesteading way, get out away from, I'll answer that question, Neil, but let me finish this thought or I'll never finish. Homesteaders in general, there's a connection to nature. There's a reason they're doing it. It's in most cases not a money-making venture. It's not a business. It's a way to connect with their food source, with nature, with slowing down and doing, making your own tools or your own baskets. Like Kate was saying, she made baskets. Just in general, doing things with your hands and connecting a little more with life instead of just the rat race and that activity. So that's really the definition, is people who are choosing to pull away from the rat race or pull away from just the busyness of trying to climb the corporate ladder or always just, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So for me, even though there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears involved in keeping uh-oh,
No, sweetie pie.
if Kate's typing weirdness at the moment, it's because the cat is on her keyboard. For me, even though there's a lot involved, a lot of energy involved in homesteading, there's a connection with God and nature, with nature and God, however that works for you. Nature, like I said earlier, is a reflection of God, in my opinion, or His love for us. So that helps me connect, and that is worth it all. So for me, I am definitely happier, even though I'm much, much busier out here on the homestead. My energy, the energy it takes to maintain this lifestyle is enormously, is that a word? Can you say that? Enormously, much bigger compared to anything that I ever did in living in the suburban neighborhoods. So I wanted your take on that. I see Lone Star Living popped in here. Skeptic popped in. Trish, good morning. Food Forest Permaculture. Forgive me if I missed somebody. I just try to mention as I see people pop in.
This cat has decided he's my friend.
That's Ben. Really loves people. Ben's the orange cat. Come here, Ben. And Ben's putting on a lot of weight. He's getting big. Hey, Ben. He's purring.
A sweetheart.
Let's see if you can hear Ben purring. Why do cats purr? I have no idea. But it's really, really fun.
To show their happiness.
Yeah, so are you happier on the homestead, Ben? Or would you rather live in a neighborhood?
This gives them so much more to life than living in a neighborhood.
Do we look alike?
Back to your question about who is happiest. I can't say that I'm a homesteader because although I have a couple of acres of land and I do garden, that's really the only quote-unquote homesteading activity that I do outside of the house.
Outside of the house, right.
But I do a lot of homesteading type activities inside, like the food preparations, doing my own sewing, weaving my own cloth, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of those when I was in the city as well.
Sure.
But I find that being on my land, being able to step out and connect with nature, spend time sitting under a tree in the middle of the afternoon, has made me a more contented person.
There you go.
I was happy in the city. Of course, I was working a full-time job and raising kids and all of that. But I'm now out in the country and I'm retired, and I'm able to make contact with that with everything around me, and I
Sure.
found I'm much more contented in my life. I'm not chasing the almighty dollar anymore,
There you
and for
go.
me, it's much better.
Good. And that's a beautiful example of what I'm talking about. By no means at all uh, did I intend to say that, it's geographical, like you have to be
Right.
uh, out in the country, because very much you can have a homesteading, nature connected mindset living in the country. Yeah, in the city, in an urban or suburban environment. Um, yeah, contentment.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Who
Yes.
did that?
Uh, I'm not sure how to say this name.
Let's see. Enlighten your mind.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Very good.
Thanks for the bee jacket recommendation. You are so welcome. So let's put. Oh, this answers the question too. Forgot who asked. Somebody asked earlier. What are the things hanging on my hat? These are squirrels. Look at the squirrels. Can you see? That is. Let me hold it right in front of the camera. It's not focusing on it, but that is a squirrel. And somewhere way back in the history of the Daddykirbs live show, we started to refer to super chats as squirrels because they would distract me, like just about everything else, from whatever I was saying. So it was like super chat squirrel, and there I go. So I ordered a bunch of, actually 10. I ordered 10 squirrel charms, and just for fun, I'm using little hair clips to put them on my hat. Just for fun, this represents the super chats that are given. And when I get 10 of these on my hat, when all 10 of these go from the tabletop to my hat, then I actually wear a squirrel hat,
Which is adorable.
which is fun. It's a really warm hat. My head gets hot, but you know. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Susie Bosch says, I have a wonderful place here in Southwest Texas, but I still work. I work too, Susie. Whew! I wish I could quit my job. I hope nobody at work is watching this. Um, I want to get back closer to family and retire so I can spend more time outside and with my animals.
Trish Rivera.
Oh,
Squirrel.
Trish with a squirrel. Thank you. Sometimes I can't. I'm guessing where the edge of the hat is. See, I can't put them too far up on the hat because they swing around and take my eyes out. Thanks, Trish. Squirrel with the crazy face. Broussard Homestead, may I invite your followers to our event? Thank you for asking. Yes, you have the event. Go ahead and just give the details in the chat, and I'll let that live there. All right. Good. Well, I am just the whole concept of being on a farm, being on a homestead, or being out in nature. For us, before we moved out to this area, the nature connection was very much on the weekends. We would take our plastic kayaks and our camper or tents, whatever we had at the moment, load up in the truck and go to some of the Texas state parks, which are beautiful, by the way. If you want to get out in nature and you're in Texas or anywhere near Texas, I'm sure everyone has great state parks, but the Texas state parks are just fantastic. And it's a good way. You head out on the weekend, maybe you head out Friday night, you spend Friday night, Saturday night, and you come home Sunday, and you have 2 nights out in nature. You can do swimming and fishing and hiking and all kinds of stuff at these places and connect with nature. And that is a good way for people who want to get out. They don't live on a homestead or a farm, but it does give you that connection with nature. Now, what it doesn't give you is that ongoing connection with a food source or animal husbandry or things like that. But it is a good way to get out and connect with nature. Let's see here. Food Forest Permaculture. Have a great weekend, everyone, and thank you kindly, Blake, for hosting. Kate, pleasure to see you again. Off to the new Food Forest. Bumper crop again this year. Good for you. All the Food Forest, much love and respect. Thanks for being here. And there's the details of the Broussard Bayou Bash.
And that thing
Steadfast.
is growing by leaps and bounds. People are just fighting to come to it.
They're fighting?
Not
Like
really.
real fights? Like Fight Club fights?
No, not really.
So I wish I could attend that, but I don't. Did I mention already that that is the day that my son's getting married? Did I
I
mention that
don't
on
think you
camera?
did. I don't think you did today.
So my son is getting married the very same day that you guys are having your bash, and so that just totally eliminates me from that possibility because I won't
And
even
Blake is
be in here.
officiating at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I not only am the father of the groom, but I am the officiator. Pretty weird, huh? Nice. Good. Okay. 36 minutes in, and I got speechless there for a minute. Let me go ahead and mention a couple other things, like my stickers. If you have not sent your self-addressed and stamped envelope to the address that shows up in chat for your stickers, these are free stickers. You can put them on your laptop, on your mug. This is a different mug. I don't have it on my mug this morning. Or on your bumper, on your trash can, wherever you would like a Daddykirbs logo, you can put, yes, we're going to do the cornhole. Look at this, John. I am all set up. By the way, for those of you who don't understand cornhole, I realize it's kind of a funny word. That is a game commonly played here in Texas. I don't know if it's just a Texas thing or not. We any similar game that we played when I lived up north was not called cornhole, and it didn't have the same board or the same rules, but it was beanbags. And historically it would be corn bags, which is why it's corn. But when I had corn bags, my buddy Tim Turner, who made this game for me, provided me bags with corn, and I left them out one day, and my horses and chickens ate them. So my corn bags became animal feed. Rosa Miller, thank you very much for that super chat, that squirrel. Let's see, that is number 6 for the morning. Actually, number 4, but I included 2 from the premiere yesterday. Boom, squirrel. Thank you very much. That is just very helpful. I appreciate your encouragement with that. So yes, the corn bags that I had originally became animal feed. So I actually went on Amazon. I should have made my own, I know, but talking about being crafty and all that, and then I just went on Amazon and ordered my my bean bags. But sometimes it's just convenient, right? Because you don't have time for everything. But these are official weighted bags for the cornhole game. Yes, there is an official. There are competitions with this, and some of these people that play this game are ruthless, and it's kind of fun. Now I do it a little different here because I'm throwing them over my shoulder just for fun on camera, but we do set the 2 boards up and play games. And so when my Norwegian family was here, that was one of the activities that we played here in around, I say the backyard. It was right outside the back door of the house here. It's a fun activity because it doesn't take a lot of brain power. Well, sometimes keeping score does, because that's kind of, there's some rules to the scorekeeping. But yes, we are going to throw some cornhole in just a few minutes. But let me go ahead and finish with the stamps, not stamps, stickers. Send your self-addressed and stamped envelope, and I will return it to you. So you put a self-addressed and stamped envelope inside another envelope, send it to me. I'll take your envelope out, put my stickers in, and drop that in the mail straight back to you. Also, I just got a notification that somebody's asking to join the family group. If you are interested in participating in this community in a closed Facebook group, check out the Daddykirbs family group. The Daddykirbs family group is just a place where we can continue this conversation, sharing our stories, and it is a closed group. You do have to answer 2 questions in order to let us know, the moderators of that group, let us know that you're serious about being a part of the community. They're easy questions, and there's not too many wrong answers. Maybe no wrong answers, I don't know. I've had some pretty interesting and funny answers to those questions, but if you're just showing that you're serious about being a part of that community, answering those questions lets us know, and we will allow you into the group, and you can start joining the conversation. Haffy says he used to play horseshoes back in Maine. That was way more common for us in Indiana when I grew up there.
It was here in Texas when I was a kid too.
Oh, really? Horseshoes was a big thing?
Oh yeah.
There's not too many people that do that anymore. At least I don't hear about it.
You know, I've been amazed. I have some friends that are in their late 40s that they have a whole group of people that are starting to play horseshoes again, and they set up a horseshoe pit in their backyard just for that.
I'm in my late 40s.
I'm in my late somethings. Actually, I'm pretty proud of my age.
Yeah?
I am. August the 31st, I will be 70 years old.
Yay for Kate.
It took me 69 years to get here, by golly.
That's right. You should be proud of that.
I am. I really am.
Are you guys heading out? Luke, do you want to say howdy? I really like that color on you, Luke. Look at that beautiful shirt. Oh, they can't see your face. Here. Say good morning.
Good morning.
So, where are you going, Luke?
Tim Morton's.
Oh, hold on. I want to get Mama Kirbs in here too. She's beautiful. So, Mama Kirbs and Luke are heading out for a special needs event. Not a special needs event.
A group of parents that have kids with Fox G1 are meeting together.
So, parents with special needs kids are meeting.
Parents that have kids with Fox G1.
Right, which is special needs.
Sure, but all these kids have Fox G1.
Right. Okay, so
which is a rare thing.
It is a rare thing. So they're going to meet and encourage each other at Morgan's Wonderland, which is a park designed for special needs.
Yes, after his daughter.
After
Morgan.
his daughter, Morgan. So Luke, have a good time this morning.
We're going to meet lots of people. Some people are coming from Houston, all over the place.
Good for you. You
Nice.
have a good time.
Yeah.
Make new friends.
Bye, bud. Okay,
Then tonight we're going to go see Adam's play.
nice.
Watch baseball.
Yes, this evening we're going to go watch my daughter do her acting on stage. She is a part of the Peter Pan show. So Mama Diana is answering the questions now. Good. I saw your request to join the group. Very cool. Haffy's 67 in September. Did you say yours was in September too?
No, mine's August 31st.
August. That's right. August 31st. That's
Might
coming
as well
up.
be September. It's the last day of August.
That's right. So you and Haffy are right there together. Pretty close. Lots of birthdays. Yeah. Dolly says Luke looks very handsome today. He does look handsome. He's a good looking kid. All right. Busy day. Yes, we have a busy day. Every day. Sometimes, you know, the truth is sometimes Saturday mornings, if I didn't commit to this being a thing every Saturday morning, it just wouldn't be a thing because there's always so much to do. And this show is from 9 to 10 Central, our time, of course. And it takes me an hour or so to prepare notes and prepare mentally and get the table set up. And Kate shows up usually 30 minutes or so.
About an hour before.
Sometimes an hour before the show, and we hang out and chat and talk about what's going to go on. So this takes my Saturday morning.
It does mine too.
I'm very happy to do it. Kate's very happy to do it. But it's just one of those things that if if you want to make something a part of your life, you just have to dedicate and make the time.
You have to make that commitment.
That's
She's
right.
got it. You're not going to get hit.
Mama Kirbs is gonna run over me. So
Right,
yes,
Susie. Especially when you work all week, it makes it harder to get that commitment made.
yeah. Oops, she bumped the cornhole.
Well, maybe it'll make your aim better.
Maybe. Yeah, when you work all week, I have hopes and dreams of someday transitioning out of the normal day job into something that would bring me home more often. But that hasn't happened yet, and I have to be grateful for the job that I have, and I am grateful. But it does, I did, last year or 2 years ago, go from 5 days to 4 days a week. I took a little bit of a pay cut to come home on Fridays to be here for my family on Fridays, which was wonderful for me. Don't mind so much that I lost a little income because I gained something way more valuable to me, which is being home with my family. So, yeah, when you have to be gone all week, I like to say making someone else rich, then you come home and you try in the evenings and weekends to do the things that give you and your family pleasure. It is sometimes difficult. Hey, Kilted Gardener showed back up. Secret squirrel. What's the secret? There's a secret squirrel. It's not a secret when I can see your name, Robert. Yeah, working from home is not really an option for me. It could be.
It wasn't for me.
It was not for you.
No.
Yeah, it's a tough call because, at least in my situation, if I'm home, I want to be available to home. And
Right.
it would be very difficult for me to shift my attention to a computer
Well,
and
remember,
not pay
I
attention.
retired over 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Working from home that long ago was not really very common. It was
right,
usually just upper management.
right.
So working from home just wasn't an option. Now, when I had my own business, I certainly could not work at
Yeah,
home because I had to be at the business every day.
right, right.
So working from home has never been an option. However, when I had my own business, I brought my children to my office with me and homeschooled them there in the office.
Good. That's wonderful. That's that's better than not being able to do that.
Yes, yes.
So let's mention some of the conferences. I see that Dolly put up Homestead Fair 2019, November 29th and 30th. Excuse me, in Waco, Texas. I'm hoping to make that one. I can't fully commit to that one yet, but I'm hoping to make that one. The one right now that I say fully committed to, barring any extreme circumstances, is the Homesteading Live Conference in August. And then the second one that I am almost fully committed to is the Homesteaders of America in Virginia. That's in October. Is that right? I think that one's in October.
Yes.
So my buddy Robert lives up there nearby, so we're gonna have a chance to hang out with Robert Kilted Gardener, and also to go to that conference and see a lot of you, because I know a lot of people here are heading over to that one. That is in Front Royal, Virginia, October 11 and 12. Yes. So the other one in Texas, and there is a group. I was going to say there are a group. There are some
There is a
people.
group.
There is a group. Sorry, sometimes I get hung up on the grammar. There is a group of people, homesteaders of Texas, YouTubers, that are trying to make. Oh, go to the land. Don't let me forget that one. But then there's also another group of people that's trying to make a different Texas event. But a Texas event that's coming up is Go to the Land Fest. That's going to be in Temple, Texas, and it is going to be amazing. We had that one last year in Lindale, Texas, and it was so cool. They're changing venue so it can be a little bigger. And so Justin from the Good of the Land channel, he's the one that's heading all that up, and it's going to be a super duper good time. Justin just has a lot of connections and a lot of people aiming to make this an amazing show for you guys. So if you're anywhere near Texas or you want to fly in from anywhere to attend the Good of the Land Fest, any of these events, the Homesteading Life Conference in Hannibal, Missouri, the Good of the Land Fest in Temple, Texas, Front Royal, Virginia with the Homesteaders of America, and then the one in Waco, Texas as well.
And the Bayou Bash.
The Bayou Bash, don't let me forget that, yeah. The Bayou Bash in July. So you guys, yeah, there's a lot of really cool events, and I hope to I wish I could make all of them, but I cannot make all of them. I'm going to make at least one of them this year because I want to get out and shake some hands, hug some necks, and yeah, connect with the community in real life without this digital space between us. Just rode my motorcycle through Hannibal last weekend. That's Skeptic. That's pretty cool. I used to ride. I wish I still did sometimes, but gave it up.
I still have scars on my thighs and calves from exhaust burns.
Yeah, that'll get you.
It does, especially when you lay it down in the sand.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what you get for riding on the beach.
Yep. Yep. I wrecked a motorcycle 3 times. It hurt.
Ooh, I used to ride them a lot when I lived in Corpus.
Yeah. Oh man.
But it was always on the beach.
Yeah. So I mean, at least there might be some relief in the sand.
Not really.
Yeah. Better than concrete.
But it
I think,
is more challenging to learn to ride on the sand.
Yeah, it would be. Let's see here. Where do I get information about that conference? Does any website? So which one? There's the Homesteading Life Conference in August. That's with Doug and Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. The Temple, Texas Good of the Land Fest. That's in October. The Waco Homesteading Conference.
Bayou Bash.
Bayou Bash, man, and then the Homesteaders. Bayou Bash is actually coming up in a few weeks.
Yep.
Is that in Louisiana?
Yes, it is. It's in Port Charles, Lake Charles.
Lake Charles or Port Charles, somewhere
and
Charles.
If you go back and look in the chats, there are links to each of those, including the Bayou Bash.
Good.
Dolly has been doing a beautiful job with getting all of those links up there.
Good, so Dolly's been putting links up to all of those events.
And I put the one up for the Bayou Bash.
Wonderful. So Happy says, we do have the Common Ground Fair in Unity, Maine, the 3rd weekend in September that draws upwards of 80,000 people for a 3-day weekend. That's a lot of people. I have no idea how many people show up to things like the Mother Earth News Fair.
Thousands and thousands and
But
thousands.
I don't think it's 80,000.
Now that I couldn't tell you, but I know there's tons of people that show
There's
up.
a lot of people. The last one I attended was not well attended. And
Really?
it seemed like the last show was...
I think the ones in Texas tend to not be as well attended as the ones up in the Northeast.
Yeah, possibly.
Which I think is also the reason why they don't have as many of that type of gatherings in Texas, because they're not as well attended.
Right.
And that could be because there's so many ranchers and farmers in the Texas area.
Could be. Could be. I'm getting distracted by my own squirrels here as I'm counting the ones that are remaining.
Phyllis told me to tell you that they can't see me. But that's okay, Phyllis.
Oh.
I really don't necessarily want to be seen.
Yeah. All right, let's throw some cornhole. Some bean bags.
Good idea.
Let's see here. This one. So last week, same this week. Left hand over the left shoulder. And I did the same thing I did last week. I'm going to turn my chair. That was awful.
Yeah, that didn't get even near the place.
It's because they're wet. I'm gonna blame it on them being wet.
Okay, we'll let you.
The sun's in my eye.
Remember, we saw you shoot this last week too. So, nope.
Man.
Need to aim more towards my truck. All right,
Now
you
I'm
got
on
it
the board. Okay. Now an awkward moment as I check out chat. Okay.
That almost got to the hole.
Okay.
That's within 2 inches of the hole.
Nice. 2 on the board.
3 on the board. And 1 almost in the hole.
It's almost there. 4 on the board. Almost 1 in. Ah. So, yeah. That's fun. You know what I'm going to do?
Probably not.
What?
Probably don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's why I paused. Actually, I paused because when I say things on live, I have to think about it, because if I say something that sounds like a promise and then don't keep it,
Then people give you trouble about it.
then it's just not nice for me. So the thought came in, the first part of my sentence came out, and then I thought, wait a minute, do I want to say this? It's not a big deal.
Watch, like, think, folks.
It's not a big deal, but so what I was getting ready to say, I'll just say it, and then I'll say, I hope this can happen, is that I'm pretty sure I'm driving my truck to the event in, maybe to any event, but certainly to the one in August, because Hannibal, Missouri is certainly driving distance. Heck, everything in Texas is a long drive, so
Right.
it's not that big a deal to go to another state. Actually, it is a big deal. It takes 8 hours or more to get out of Texas. But
Yeah, right.
So what I hope to do is to pack the cornhole boards and the bean bags and take them with me. And what I want to do, I'm going to talk to Doug first, of course, because this is Doug and Stacy's event. But I thought it would be kind of fun to set them up and have people just show up and throw bean bags. So also, Justin with Good of the Land has invited me to be a little bit more of a part of the show at the Good of the Land Fest. I'm not going to be on stage. I'm not going to be like a keynote speaker or anything, or a speaker really much to speak of. Anyway, so I'm going to ask him if that would be something that he would like there as well. It's just really a way to connect with people and give people something to do as we connect. So yeah, please go back to the game.
Oh. Happy says you should paint the Daddykirbs logo on
I
the board.
want to do that. I thought about doing that. I just haven't.
Put the apple with the hole in the center where the play button
The
is.
play
on the
button,
apple.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. I happen to know a graphic designer. I probably could get something
yeah.
done.
I know one too.
So I only have 8 bean bags to the
2
person.
minutes left.
To the person. See, Dylan Evans asked me to go back to the game. I only have 8 bean bags, and I threw all 8 of them, and so that's the game right there. The Botter Homestead, they're late. Yeah, you're late. That's okay.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, glad you made it. Join in the last couple minutes, and then you can watch in replay. And we hope to see you guys at some of the events coming up. I want to keep mentioning those events because I really want to meet you, and you in general, y'all. All
there you
y'all.
go.
See, that's in
That's
Texas. Y'all can be one person. All y'all is a group. So all y'all. I want to meet all y'all. Yeah, so maybe even within the show you'll see the logo on the board. I even thought about, so I work professionally as a graphic designer. Let me just go completely off of the homesteading track here. I work professionally as a graphic designer, and one of the things that I do is work with a print shop to get large prints made. I do this all the time for different reasons. So I could get a board. There's a PVC material that you could print on. I could get a board that size with that hole cut into that board with my logo and just affix it to the top of these boards. That would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
Botters want to know when y'all are getting together.
The Bottops. We need to start. You mean getting me and them?
That's what
Them
I'm
and I?
assuming.
They and I?
They don't address it to anyone in specific.
Oh. We need to get our planning on when are we meeting up. Oh,
Time.
so meeting up, maybe you're going to have to explain that, Mr. Bottoff Homestead, or Mrs., whoever you are. Sorry. Why do we have to feel so sorry about using gender pronouns? Or anyway. All right. Yeah, time is up, and it has been a wonderful morning hanging out with you guys, truly. I look forward to this every week. You, as a community, encourage me, and I hope that by me sharing this story, you guys are entertained, encouraged. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. Entertained, educated, and encouraged. Or one of those three. Because I believe here in the Daddykirbs Farm, and I'm pretty sure Kate believes the same thing, that
Yes,
everyone has a story, and every story counts.
And yours matters too.
It